How's it, guys? This is Davey, FPL, and welcome back to another Deadline with Davey live stream. As always, back in the old setup, so let me know if the audio and the video are looking Gucci, and then we can head on to this live stream that I can't promise won't be without panic, because as you guys know, I'm on the wildcard chip. I haven't finalized my team. The team you see on screen right now is just for price rises. I'll be finalizing that draft in this live stream, and therefore, as mentioned, there might be some slight panic as the stream goes on. So if you guys are doing well, hopefully your weekend has started off well. If you've just woken up, if you're going to bed soon, thank you for joining. Hopefully the stream doesn't put you to bed. But as mentioned, we're back in South Africa. Australia was great, thanks Chris. But good to be back home on the normal setup. So just let me know if everything sounds fine and looks okay. And we are just under 53 minutes till that game week 7 deadline. To get those questions in, as always, I'm going to try and answer as many as possible. I'm going to ask for some patience because I might be kind of looking at my own team, trying to suss out what my wildcard draft is going to finally look like. But we should be able to get through a ton of questions that you guys do have. Morning, Dave. After getting priced out of the Vardy, the panic move to the lot paid off. Lucky, exactly, Connor. I think I mentioned this, that he's a good option, but there might be some rotation. But he goes and scores, was it 2 goals? So you are absolutely laughing now. So that just proves that sometimes FPL, if you miss out on a move that you wanted, sometimes the replacement is even better. So I'm happy for you, Connor, though, after a little bit of panic there about missing the original transfer. Whatever you do, try to find a way to get Johnson over Kulusevski. Martin, yeah, so Martin, exactly. I'm trying to do that. I just don't know how. There's like little things I can do, like I can downgrade Flecken to Murik for 4.4, and then I can maybe move Davis to a 4.4 like Adnori. That gives me enough to afford Johnson. It's just that those moves to me seem a bit, I don't know, a bit out there. Like I don't know if the upside of Johnson over Kulusevski outweighs those necessary moves. But we might be going for a completely different draft at the end of this that gives you enough money for it. So I'm going to try and fit him in. I do really prefer him to someone like a Kulusevski, even a Madison. I think... Sorry, this Siri is just asking me questions. So there's a whole bunch of things that could potentially take place. Why without Saka? So please don't look at this team. Actually, what I'll probably do is I'll go over to the actual team. And then the transfer page, and then we can go over certain moves. Joel saying, how's it, if I already have Palmer, Haaland, Salah, Trent, Jackson, is it worth dropping any to try and get Foden? No, Joel, I'd give it a week. I think Fulham, if you saw the ultimate guide, you'll know that the Fulham defensive numbers are actually pretty good. I know their fixtures might have been a bit easier, but they actually have looked pretty decent. I'm just going to see if you guys can see this. If I go... Okay, let me actually, I'll zoom out so that I think what actually helps is if you guys do see the value. Okay, cool. That should be sufficient. So you can see the wildcard is active. I can't undo it. It is locked in. So I'm going to make the kind of transfer. I'll make the draft I released in the team selection yesterday, but there might be some changes to it as we go along. So. Isn't bringing a Palmer on this wildcard a bit knee-jerk? Chelsea fixtures. So I do feel it's knee-jerk. I think there's a big debate about Palmer on a wildcard. I think it's quite easy on free transfers. You probably don't do it. But on a wildcard, it's almost like I feel like I have to because I'm given the opportunity, which could come back to bite me 100%. But I just feel like because I have the chance to get him when other people don't, I might as well do it. And I spoke about this, but if I don't go for Palmer on the wildcard, I have so much money in the bank for other positions, I don't even know what to do with it. Like, yes, I go for Havertz up front, but do I want Havertz for the medium term? Maybe not. So do I drop him next week and then I have even more money in the bank? So I feel like I just kind of go for Palmer. I can always shift him on for someone like a Son in the future, find funds, or maybe go to a Foden, that sort of thing. I just feel like Palmer gives you a bit more flexibility in the structure, and he's a great player at the end of the day. So I know the fixtures aren't great, but I mean, I think I almost have to on the wild card. I don't know if you guys think. it's like I just feel like there's like this need to do it. Okay, so the first thing I want to just clarify is that I will be going for Saka. I spoke about Saka. For me, he's my favorite option. I think if you're going to be going for a premium midfielder, it's Saka in my opinion. So let me just bring him in now. But as you guys can see, I've got like hardly any value in the bank now. So I have to make some changes. I don't think I'll be going for Trent. I think I'll be swapping this for Guardiola. That'll give me extra 1. And now I need the 1.2 million. So that's either going to come from Delap down to Chiwomi. But now I need 0.2. And this is what I was talking about in yesterday's draft. It's that if Mykolenko was fit, I could have gone for him over a Van der Ven. But now the cheapest I can go here is a 4.4 because none of the other 4.3s play as far as I know. I mean, I can go and check. Maybe you guys can recommend an option. But as far as I know, there's no 4.3 that really plays. Unless I go for like a 4.1 or a 4.0, but I don't know if I'm too keen on that. Yeah, I'm just going through the list and there's no real options at 4.3 that I can see. Mykolenko was perfect because basically what you needed is you needed a player that was injured or something like that. Okay, Totti Gomez might not play. But you almost needed a player that had a high ownership, then got injured or didn't start the season. Because then people mass sold them, and then they became cheaper. Is Ben Mee injured? Or is he just not playing? I mean, Ben Mee could have been an option. But, yeah, so the 4.4 is kind of the minimum I saw. So unless that's why I was like, unless I go Murik for Flecken, who's 4.4, and then I go for Aitnori here, I can't afford Johnson, and that's why I went for Kulusevski. So I'm just going to pencil in Kulusevski here so you guys don't get confused with the... Or maybe I'll just keep Johnson. But as you guys can see, 0.2 in the bank. I don't know, can anyone recommend anything to do that will give me that extra 0.2? I don't think so. Nick Hill, is this your final team? No, I'll kind of go through it as I'll show you guys the variation I'm thinking about. Rico Henry, Dark Lord, apparently he's not going to start though this week. And I don't know how long that recovery from injury is going to be. So yeah, Rico Henry is back in training. How much is he? Oh, he's 4.3. Okay, but he's back in training, but I just don't exactly know how long he's going to take to get back. So I might as well just go for Mykolenko then, because at least with Mykolenko, I know in 2 to 3 weeks he's back. So then that kind of defeats the purpose for me. I think like between those two, not much in it. So yeah, Mykolenko only out for 1 week, but my worry is that a player's injured until they're not. So he could be injured for longer than that, and then we're stuck with a 4.2 that doesn't even feature. So that's what I'm kind of thinking about. Ipswich defense. Yeah, I was looking at someone like a Davis, but more because he's got attacking threat. Twanzebe. Downgrade Greaves to Twanzebe. Okay, is he... Okay, no, but I don't know if that doesn't give me anything because they're the same price. Because I bought Greaves at 4.0. So you see, it's very tough. I promise you guys, I've gone through a lot of options. Van der Berg, I don't even know if he's going to play every game, and that's what worries me. And the thing about, I need a player that's going to be also a good option. I know I'm a beggars can't be choosers, but if Lewis doesn't play, I want at least someone I'm confident of getting points from. That's why I went for Davis, because the fixtures look good, that sort of thing. But a 4.0 to me doesn't scream like a sensible option, and that's why I think just going for Kulusevski over Johnson might be okay just going for a 4.5 then. Andrew, I'm wildcarding. Ishan, no, I'm not in Australia anymore. I came back on Sunday. I was there for like a month though. What do you think of Doku to McNeil? It's tough because if Doku plays, I think I'd still prefer him. But McNeil's just going to play every game, so he's more sensible. It's quite a sideways move though, so unless you don't have any other fires to put out and you don't want to roller transfer, yeah. Johnson for 4.4 might be better than Murik with the Wolves fixtures. That is true. I was looking at that as well. Then I would go for double Wolves though. I would go for Johnson and I would go for Aitnori, which is like, I don't know. Yes, I can. Abdul, I can go for Aït-Nouri, but that doesn't give me enough money to get Johnson. What about Mazraoui for Guardiola? I'm pretty keen on Guardiola, to be honest. I like him as an asset. What I could do is I could go for Edison instead of him, but I just feel like Guardiola offers a lot more going forward than an Edison does, obviously. Flecken and Johnson or Edison and Semenyo? Flecken and Johnson or Edison and Semenyo? Adam, that's a tough one. I'd say definitely Johnson's better than Semenyo with the Bournemouth fixtures. I'd probably say Edison. I'd probably say Flecken and Johnson. Edison doesn't get those massive hauls anyways, Adam, even if he keeps clean sheets. Why don't you have any Liverpool assets? I know, you're speaking to my heart here, Ole, but I can't fit them in. I don't know, where would you put in a Liverpool asset here? Trent for me is probably the closest. However, those Liverpool fixtures are very tough going forward now. I still don't mind an attacker, but I think Trent is like, those fixtures aren't great for clean sheets. I hope all is well. Onana, a good keeper option is Raul Jimenez. Raul Jimenez looks good because he's scoring. So as a budget option, I don't have any complaints against him. With Onana, I don't know. I think I would just go cheap. I don't think United are canning out clean sheets to kind of go for him. Davey, what if I can't afford both Saka and Palm with Haaland then? Did you just change your draft then? What you can do is instead of Johnson, you go for McNeil. That's also sensible. Yeah, so Chris, I'll go over my team. 0.5 short of the draft with Johnson and 0.3 with Kulusevski. Okay, Connor, what you can just do then is you can, instead of going for Johnson or Kulusevski, you go for McNeil. You'll have enough money to afford that. That's kind of the easiest thing I would say because I still expect McNeil to kind of tick along nicely. Salah over Saka. He is more expensive though, and that's the only thing. I'm torn between Flecken and Johnson or Raya and McNeil. Yeah, Cole, that's also a tough one. I do really like Raya. I think if I had enough funds to afford him, I would say that I know he's been scoring well, but he's probably the most disposable Arsenal asset if you guys have him. Just because if you need money in the bank, you probably will be fine downgrading him. But it does make it quite close because the last thing I want to happen is for McNeil to be better than Johnson, because then that means I could have just gone for the cheaper asset and afforded a better team. So, yeah. But let me go over the variation I was looking at. Actually, let me do something quickly. Let me just go check Twitter for you guys, because I know a lot of you still have Liverpool assets. Okay, I don't think there's been anything on Diaz yet. Apparently Jota starts. Yeah, that's the only thing I've seen, is that Johnson starts. What we can go over, as usual, I'll go over the Rob T FPL final projections. Okay, we'll go over that shortly. Okay, let me go over the variation I was thinking about. Okay, so just bear in mind, I can't afford this draft anyways. Instead of Van der Ven, I was looking at Davis, even though Van der Ven rose last night. So the draft I was looking at, and I posted this yesterday in the video, was Kulusevski, because that gives me the 0.2 to, like, I don't have any value negative here. So yes, I would prefer Johnson. However, Kulusevski is still a great shout. He could provide value. So that's the first draft in the draft I released yesterday. Then what I thought about last night is, could I potentially change this in terms of formation? Because I don't like the 4.5 forward. Probably third on my bench most game weeks anyways. But if I need some more coverage, what I was thinking about doing potentially is, instead of going for Kulusevski, it's going for Calvert-Lewin. And then instead of going for Johnson, it's going for Carvalho. I would probably bench him though most game weeks, so this could be a waste. And then instead of Davis, I'd go for Aït-Nouri at 4.4. So this is the other draft I was looking at. So the big difference here, it's basically Kulusevski versus Calvert-Lewin. And between those two, who do you think scores more points? Because the rest of the players are almost bench fodder. Carvalho, I might play him every so often. I just don't know when. Maybe I'll play him against like Ipswich, but game week 9, DCL has Fulham at home. So maybe I could play Carvalho instead of him. Or when Rodgers has tougher games, game week 10, game week 11, I could play Carvalho. Game week 10, 11, it's okay. It's just, yeah, that's what I was... It's basically Calvert-Lewin, though, versus Kulusevski, which... That's tight in my opinion. I think Calvert-Lewin's a better FPL asset, but I think Spurs score more goals. So between these two, it's quite tough. So yeah, it's DCL versus Kulusevski basically. Okay, on that point, let me talk about Rob T FPL's graphic. So just bear with me as I adjust these points. Okay, cool. Let me just move it up there. Okay, cool. So if you guys don't know what these are the spread X data. Rob T FPL puts it on a nice graphic. I'd use the same data for the ultimate guide in terms of projected goals. I use different stats for clean sheets, but they're pretty similar overall. So in terms of these numbers, the ones that you should probably focus on are the Arsenal game. You can see 50% chance of clean sheet is insane, and 2.9 goals projected in this fixture. So around 3 goals expected against Southampton. And that's why I was looking at a Havertz, because Havertz to me looks pretty good, to be honest. I think I like him as an asset. He is more of a 1-week punt, and that's why with Spurs' kind of 2 goals, I think it's worth probably just not banking the transfer and rather just getting Solanke from the start. But if you guys do want to go for Havertz, I really like the front 3 of Havertz, Solanke, and Haaland. That's also an option if you guys do want to go there. But 50% chance of a clean sheet if you guys have Raya, also looking pretty good. Man City, fingers crossed, 46%, also pretty decent. And they projected to score 2.6. So you might be asking me, why am I going for Haaland and not Saka? So in terms of goal share, which is like, if you were to think Man City score a goal, who scored? It's probably Haaland, whereas with Arsenal, it could be a bunch of options. Could be Trossard, Martinelli. It could be someone like a Havertz. It could be Saka. So the goal share between Arsenal's a lot more kind of split, whereas with Man City, Haaland's kind of the main talisman. So that's why even though Man City are projected to score less goals, Haaland probably has a bigger share in those. Does that mean he outperforms Saka? No, that's not a certainty. Anything could happen. I mean, Saka gets assists, he gets an extra point per goal, he gets a clean sheet point, so there are various avenues for Saka to get points, but I can't really back against Haaland not to do well with his ownership when the projections look strong and it's a great home fixture. So that's, just want to provide some clarity there. Then in terms of Chelsea, also good projections, 2.25. I would probably say I was expecting a bit lower there because Forest's defensive numbers are good. I mean, if you consider the fact that they kept out Liverpool away from home, that should tell you enough. But yeah, good projections for them as well. Liverpool obviously also looking pretty strong. If you guys do have someone like a Jota, Diaz, Salah, keep hold of them. And also Trent has a high chance of a clean sheet. So we spoke about this, but like basically the Spurs Brighton game's going to have lots of goals in it. That's why I don't really mind not owning a Van der Ven or a Porro, because I think Brighton score. But a game potentially like a Brentford Wolves is looking a bit less likely for goals. So that's kind of the stats. I use these every single game week. I like them. Even for the wildcard, especially now, it's going to be quite useful. So just let me know if you guys want me to go over them again, but I think you probably got enough insight, and you can always go over to Rob T FPL's Twitter page if you guys want more kind of insight. Okay, let me just move this there. Cool. So let's follow up on Twitter again just to see. You guys can always remind me if there is anything that we get. I don't see anything. Okay, I don't see anything here. Okay, cool. Yeah, so I've checked up on Twitter. There's nothing as of now. There's a poll if you guys do want to vote. It's who's your captain. And as you guys can see, 77% of you are saying Haaland. So I'm expecting very high kind of ownership for him. Start DCL or Rodgers? Very tough question. I would say you probably start DCL because he has more avenue for points. But between the two, it's quite close. It's a very kind of 50-50. No matter what decision you make, your bench option probably is going to score. Do you not fancy double Arsenal attack now? I do, Matt. It's just quite hard to fit them in. Unless what I do is I drop Solanke for Havertz, but I probably would want Solanke in the future anyways. So I'm almost like locking in a transfer then. Do bank transfers carry over? They do, Cole, but I'm a bit unsure. So I had one free transfer before the wild card. So do I now get two or do I get one? You guys can just let me know in the comments if you've done it already. Trent and Diaz to Konate and Foden. Trent and Diaz, I would only do that if Diaz is benched. I wouldn't do Konate though, Dominic. I would go for just the cheaper option. I don't like the Liverpool fixtures for clean sheets. What draft are you leaning towards? I think I'm leaning towards the Kulusevski one. Milos, if you 0.1 short, I would just go for Dibbling at 4.5 at 4.6, or just go for Winks. I think he's also 4.5. So if you can't afford this draft, then just drop Carvalho down. Solanke plays for Spurs though, Jason. That is true. He does play for Spurs, but I think they're good attacking numbers, and I'm expecting him to do quite well. Double Man City defense is dangerous. It is dangerous, but like if I'm not going to back these fixtures, then like when am I ever going to kind of go for them? I guess. DCL in for Solanke? Question mark. Lohman, no, just keep Solanke. Either side of that, just keep either side. Is Mikalenko playing? No, he's injured. So the reason we know he's injured is that he was left out of the Ukraine squad, I think. And that's obviously an international break after this. Jeffrey's saying, can you please tell me about playing on transfers? Sold Palmer for Saka and Gabby. I want to sell to get Palmer. No, so Jeffrey, just wait. I'll tell you if Diaz starts. I'm pretty sure we'll get early team sheet news on that. But yeah, those transfers are interesting. I mean, Saka probably outperforms Palmer though over the next two. Bench Bruno, Rodgers, or DCL? How Bruno has fallen. I think you probably start Bruno just because you almost kind of have to. He's quite expensive. I would say it's between Rodgers and DCL, and I would probably start DCL because of more avenue for points. Bentley is close to a price drop. Ward may be a better option. Yeah, I wouldn't go for Bentley. I'd probably just go for Fabianski. He is more highly owned, but there might be a chance of him playing. Actually, what I probably would do here is if I didn't go for Carvalho, I just go for Vald because he's the backup Brentford goalkeeper. This game week to start Eze or Rodgers? I would start Rodgers over Eze. In terms of FPL, Eze is a better option, but I mean he has a tougher fixture, so I just go for Rodgers. And Pau Torres or Dunk? I would say go for Pau Torres. Would you take Diaz out for Johnson? Yes, if he doesn't start. If Diaz doesn't start, what's Jackson's ownership? And I think it's too early to look for differentials. It's still very early in the season, guys. You don't have to stress about it. Okay, I don't see anything. I don't see anything about Diaz's early team news. Solanke or Jackson? I'd go for Solanke. Like, besides Palmer, I think the Chelsea fixtures are getting very tough. So I think Solanke for me, it's kind of a no-brainer, I'd say. Hassem, hello, sorry, just joined. What's the plan for today? Is this your final team or are you still thinking about? I'm still thinking about. Probably what I'll do is I'll do like a vote. I'll go through the teams again and then I'll do a vote on it. What was your points for the previous game week? I got 52 points. So not activating the wild card is pretty good. Let me just look at your team. Yeah, I think your team looks fine, Melon Musk. You can roll. I'm 0.1 short. What should I do? Yeah, so if you guys can't afford this draft, then go Carvalho out. But just wait because I'm not locked in yet. Why not face over Ait Nori? I just like Ait Nori's attacking threat. I don't trust Leicester for clean sheets, and that's why Dip Titan don't really trust any of the 4.0s for points. I'm fine with having them as bench options, but with Rico Lewis, I'm worried about rotation, and if he is rotated, I need a good defensive kind of substitute for him. Would you go Carvalho and DCL or McNeil and Chiwembe? Let me just check something. Do you mean Chiwomi? And I just go for the first two because Chiwembe doesn't play or Chiwomi doesn't play. Jason, I'm not planning on bringing Havertz in. I'm planning on taking him out if I did have him. That's what I was just saying. So I would have him for Southampton, but then I would probably want Solanke in game week 8 or game week 9. So I would bank that transfer in already. So it might just be worth. I mean, Solanke could do well against Brighton. Who knows? Yeah, right now, just go for the first two. I prefer Carvalho and DCL because they both play. Is this your team, Davey? No. Okay, so let's do the poll, guys. Let's do the poll with just under 28 minutes to go. So this is the first team. All you have to look at is Aït-Nouri, Carvalho, and DCL. So these are the only three players that are going to change. Aït-Nouri, Carvalho, and DCL. So the alternative to this draft is to drop Calvert-Lewin to Chiwomi, take Carvalho to Kulusevski, and then Aït-Nouri to Davis, which in my opinion, it's very similar. I just like Davis slightly more, but like, you can ignore that one. It's basically DCL or Kulusevski. Who scores more points between them? Kulusevski with this fixture run. Looking good, some good fixtures. And then Calvert-Lewin has this fixture run, which also looks pretty good. Quite close between them, I'd say. So out of these two drafts, I'm going to do a poll now for you guys. Which one do you prefer between? It's basically DCL versus Kulusevski, so I'm gonna put that in the poll. But obviously with the DCL draft, we do have Carvalho that offers some rotation for us. Let me just do this poll quick. Okay, so here's the poll. You guys can vote on the poll which you guys think is the best. I would love Brennan Johnson, but I can't afford him. So the only way to afford him is if I went like this. So I brought Johnson in. I then dropped Davis to Aït-Nouri because there's no 4.3 at the moment. I could go for Mikalenko and just hope that he recovers, but I don't know if I'm confident in that. And then I could take Flecken to Muric for Ipswich. So the Ipswich goalkeeper has some okay fixtures, but I just don't know if I trust him for to get me kind of many points. Let's just say that. Although let's check Flecken. How's Flecken's saves been? Okay, yeah, Flecken makes a lot more saves than Muric has been doing. So this is the only way I can afford Johnson over Kulusevski. So I kind of think that just going for Kulusevski, like the difference between those two players might not be as much. So yeah, I wish that Mikalenko was back, because then I would have just gone for this team. I think pretty sure I would have gone for this team. I guess I could go for Mikalenko and just hope that he recovers, but I don't know if, as I said, a player's injured until they're not. DCL on pens, yeah, he is on penalties, I think. The DCL avenue for points are a lot stronger. However, I think Spurs score more goals. Planning to have 5 free transfers, but it depends on the current game week. Next week, I will have 3 free transfers. Okay, that's pretty good though still. Rico starts, we don't know. I don't think we have any news about that. I can go check for you guys. Yeah, I don't see anything about early team sheet news yet. If I had to give my prediction, I don't know. I think I would probably give Gakpo a Premier League game. It's so tough though because Diaz has been in great form, but apparently Jota starts up front. So it's Diaz or Gakpo on the left. Chiesa's injured again, so Salah on the right. Drop Davis for O'Shea gives you enough to get Johnson basically on the same form as Davis. Yeah, but Davis is offering so much more attacking threat. That's the only thing about him. I can go check quickly. Let me go check like what Ipswich's team. But isn't O'Shea centre back? Can't Calvert-Lewin there? What are you saying, Andrew? So you can't get him, or you just can't with him? Like, he's terrible. Sals versus Flecken, glad that's a good one. I think Nottingham Forest are putting up some good numbers. I just think I prefer Flecken for some slightly better fixtures, but I think Sals is great. Like, their fixtures aren't that bad either. It's just I think that I prefer Flecken slightly more. But in terms of defense, the Nottingham Forest defense has been great. Jean Jonker saying, I suppose I could mostly attacking midfielder, he creates a lot of chances. Yeah, I think Kulusevski's okay. I prefer Johnson, but I don't think Kulusevski's a bad asset. Like, let's just say that. Would you even play Mikalenko this week? Surely go that route. Martin, I wouldn't play him this week, but if Lewis doesn't start, then I'm a bit screwed. Because then Greaves comes off, which is not the worst in the world, but yeah, I don't know. What about Aina? Is he playing? He's 4. Okay, are you saying a 4.5? Okay, I thought Chimeni is kind of cheaper, sorry. Jacob is saying sometimes you got to tell us how to build team value. 7 is less. Okay, that's just because I've done transfers. So the way that you can check, I can give you guys a tip here. So there's a few websites that you can use. You can use Fantasy Football Fix, or you can use FPL Statistics. So let me see if you guys can see this. So you guys can, this is literally fplstatistics.com. Then they have their points projections. So let me just build this up here. So you guys can see any player that's over 100% is basically going to rise in price. And then if you go to the last page, any player under or negative 100 is going to drop. So this is how you do price rises. So if you go here and you say, okay, Palmer's going to rise in price, so therefore I need to get him. Havertz and Lewis are going to rise in price, therefore I'm going to go for him, that sort of thing. That's how you do price rises, basically. And that's what I've done over the past couple of days and whatever. There's also there's merit to it, but also not merit, because you might be forced into a move that you're not really keen on. How did you get Johnson at 6.4? I bought him a few days ago. Davis versus Nori, I prefer Davis slightly. Martin saying, I'm going Mikalenko. I think Johnson is essential right now. I'm a Spurs fan. Kulu's playing so deep. Yeah, I mean, it's tempting, and that's what I'm like. Do I just go for Mikalenko and then just hope that he recovers? It's risky, though, because he might be completely out of it. Let me just go check Twitter quick and see what was said about Mikalenko. Okay, wait, let me just check. Is there any team she needs? Okay, apparently Curtis Jones starts. Who's that for, then? Curtis Jones, so... Is it Gravenberg? Or Soboslai that drops out? Okay, Soboslai drops out then, it looks like. Okay, sorry, what was I searching? Mikalenko. Yeah, I don't see anything that's super concrete. Okay, apparently Luis Diaz is not starting. Yeah, so was Sly. Okay, sorry guys, I was a bit distracted by Twitter. Yeah, yeah, so Diaz is benched. Yeah, that's the news that has just come about. Why don't you go Van der Ven better than Davis? I don't like these Spurs fixtures for clean sheets. I know the defensive numbers are good, but I mean, Brighton, West Ham, okay, maybe West Ham, Crystal Palace. Aston Villa, Ipswich. Okay, their fixtures aren't that bad, I guess. But yeah, so Van der Ven's okay, but at this point, if I go for Johnson, I can't even afford Van der Ven, so we're not even going to be going for him. Trying to decide between Mikalenko and Aït-Nouri now with all the injury talk. Cole, definitely Aït-Nouri. Like if you can afford Aït-Nouri, I'd go for him, which is a bit annoying for me. Yeah, R&R, Mikalenko is out. Yes, Connor, if I go Kulusevski, I can. Like that's the thing, is there like a big difference between Kulusevski and Johnson? Because if there is, then I don't know. How about you get rid of Palmer, bring in Havertz and Raya? Yeah, that is a strategy that I was looking at. I did a draft with that. But I think I kind of like having Palmer in. That would free up a lot of funds. So like if we went without Palmer, and then let's just say who's another replacement we could look at. Let's just put in Carvalho for now. Then go for Havertz. Then we have like 6 mil here. But we already have Havertz up front, so now we can't go for Raya. So I could go for a better midfielder, but I don't know who there is to actually look at there. Let's just put Van der Ven in here. So that gives us 1.9 to upgrade. So we could go for another asset, but then we're getting... I don't want my bench to have too much money. Yeah. And then I kind of feel like I would probably want to get rid of Havertz anyways, like before this run of fixtures, Liverpool, Newcastle, Chelsea. But it makes sense. But I guess I could always just take Palmer to someone else if I went there. Like if I don't want Palmer anymore in a few weeks' time, then I can take him to Son or I can take him to Foden. I can't take him to Foden. I got double up in defense, but you get what I'm saying. But yeah, guys, the biggest news that has come recently is that Luis Diaz apparently is benched. Yeah, so that's the biggest news. So if you have Luis Diaz, you either bench him or you sell him, I guess. Palmer to Foden. Cammy, if you have that in your team, I think I would just leave it. I would just leave Palmer. But, yeah, Jag, no, the site won't crash. It's game week 7. Like, no one's using wildcards or anything. Have you considered Semenyo? I like Semenyo for this week, but not for next. That's like my only consideration with him. McNeil is an asset, but I prefer DCL, and that's why I was like, when I spoke about these two kind of teams, what I was looking at is probably DCL over someone like a McNeil. Like McNeil is a good option, great fixtures coming up as well. Has good kind of XG involvement. His XA is very strong, but who is he assisting then, you know? Hopefully he's assisting DCL. But yeah, he's racked up some very nice points. Oh, especially over the last like 3 games. The only thing with Johnson that worries me is like these early subs. Like why is he being subbed this early? Like the players, like no one's even competing for his role. Like all the other right wingers are injured. And he's still being subbed like 70 minutes. Like, that's not what you want to see. And that's why Kulusevski might be better, because he offers 90-minute play. Like 90, 90, 90. Whereas like I would understand it if like Johnson wasn't scoring or had some competition with him. But I mean, even 1 goal, 1 assist, and he's being sub 75 minutes. Like why? Like why is Ange doing that? Start Carvalho or India. One is Wolves and Everton have Newcastle. I'm still not 100% that Carvalho starts like every game. I think there was one projected lineup I saw where he was benched. And that worried me a little bit. Okay, so Szoboszlai misses out with a slight injury, so that's the reason that he missed out. Okay, yeah, but Diaz is not starting if you guys do want to make a substitute. You can always bench him though if you guys want to. Okay, let's check. Okay, so the poll is 51 to 49. So thanks for that one, guys. I do appreciate the votes. Johnson was shocking early on in the season. How has Calvert-Lewin been? Has Calvert-Lewin actually been okay? His numbers aren't terrible. Not like sensational, but they're not shocking. Yeah, Brennan Johnson was bad. Like, because I know there was a lot of hate about him. And that's why he like deleted social media, that sort of thing. So yeah, is there like a massive difference between Kulusevski and Johnson if you guys support Spurs, like in your opinion? Fund defense 4.6, but I bought him for 4.5. So Cameron, that's why I have him here. Can we lock in some of the moves? Connor, yeah, I will. I'll lock in some of the moves now. We're almost 10 minutes to go, so. Please, Dave, I need good forward budget 6.4. Okay, Calvert-Lewin. I have a lowest bench, so I downgrade Guardiola so I can get Johnson or Kulusevski or keep him and bring McNeil. I just go for McNeil then. However, I might go for the Calvert-Lewin draft now. That's what I'm thinking. Diaz will play. No, Diaz is benched. That's the news we've had, guys. If you have Diaz, he's benched. Trent starts though. Yeah, so the team is Alisson, Trent, Konate, Van Dijk, Robertson, McAllister, Gravenberch, Curtis Jones, Mo Diaz. But now it says... Okay, no, this one's wrong, I think. Wait, now someone's saying... Okay, no, I think Diaz is benched. Yeah, okay, so it's the same team, it's just... Yeah, so it's Alisson, Trent, Konate, Virgil, Robertson, Gravenberch, McAllister, Jones, Salah, Gakpo, Jota. As far as I know. That's what Focal is saying. And Dan, FPL Mate's also saying that. Priyanshu, thank you for becoming a member. I do appreciate it. Will you play? Yes, I will play both. Yeah, that's true, Christopher. And that's why maybe Calvert-Lewin's better, because he's more of a focal point. Yeah, Johnson is 5.5. Oh, not reliable. Is the source reliable? I think so, yeah. Focal said it, FPL Mate said it, so. Okay, we had a super chat here. Trent and Eze to Palmer and Van der Ven, or roll the transfer. International break. Yeah, I just rolled the transfer, 000. I don't think taking out Trent before Crystal Palace, especially now that he's starting. Kulu has some more upside than DCL. He does, I guess. He does have some more upside. Captain Haaland, yeah, Captain Haaland is pretty locked in, I'd say. Okay, so I think we should lock in the team now. So Kulusevski or Johnson or DCL. That's the consideration that I'm currently going through. Scrap Trent, I have. Same team as yours, or no, but you have to lock in the team and then you can decide. Diaz to Johnson or Diaz and Wood to Foden. Just do Diaz to Johnson. I don't know about Foden yet. If he's benched, it's like, it's overs. Okay, so the back three, so we have to decide this. So I can't afford this. So do I go for Johnson? Johnson or Calvert-Lewin? Let me... this is a bit tough. So if I go for Calvert-Lewin, then I go for Carvalho. And I go for Aidnori at 4.4. I think I'm going to go for... Do I go for Van der Ven then? Davis or Van der Ven? Let me just check quick. Probably, I think I like the excitement of... Van der Ven has been good though, but I just don't know if those fixtures scream clean sheets. But neither did Ipswich keep clean sheets. I think I'm going to go for Davis then. Is this going to be the team though? Yeah, I think Johnson is better. I just don't know about the... Yeah, I think I'm gonna go for this. I'm not even going for Johnson on the wild card. I do prefer Johnson, but is it worth downgrading my defender? Maybe Van der Ven then. Okay. Yeah, I think we do this then. Okay, wait, let me see. Someone said. Okay, I think we do this then. Okay, so that team is locked in then. Let me just post it quick on Discord. Sorry guys, I know that I left it late, but better late than never, I guess. If you can't afford this team, take Fun Defend to whatever defender you can afford. That's what I'd say. So just if you short, just take Fun Defend to whatever. If you can afford a 4.0, then go there. That's what I'd say. MD, thank you for becoming a legend. I'm 0 point short. Should I go for Miracle or Flecker? No, I'd go for Fun Defend to Aitonori. If you're only 0.1 off, I would just go for Aitonori. Three minutes to go though. So we do have a bit of time to lock in, guys. You can do it. So as I mentioned, this is the team I would prefer. If you have more money than me, I would prefer going for Johnson. 0.9 short. Then what I would do is I think I would go for Calvert-Lewin instead of Kulusevski. Go for Calvert-Lewin, go for dribbling in midfield, and go for whatever defender you can get for Fun Defend. If you can't afford this team with that much, I'd rather go for DCL. Same, but no Kulu. I've got McNeil. Okay, or what Chris is suggesting. Instead of Kulusevski, go McNeil. That's what else you could afford. I've got 0.3 in the bank. Okay, wait. No, I thought you were saying. So as I said, if you have more money in the bank, I would go for... I would then go for Johnson. 0.2 short... You can go for a 4.3. You can go for Mikalenko if you want to. However, I would probably just go for a 4.0 that plays, or 4.1 that plays, like a Van der Berg or a Face from Leicester. What defender, if you can't... So these are the ranges. 4.4 if you can afford, I'd go for Aitonori. 4.3, Mikalenko is risky, but I might just drop it all the way to a 4.0 with a Face or a Van der Berg from Brentford, that sort of thing. Why Aitonori over Murik? I like Brentford's... I like Flecken as an option. Have a safe weekend. Thank you, Alexander. And MD, sorry, thank you for becoming a legend for 22 months. Absolutely insane. Nearly the 2-year anniversary. Sorry, everything's going by quite quickly. Hopefully I helped you out. But yeah, I'd instead of Van der Ven, I would just go for Aitonori. I have the same team, but Calvert-Lewin, not Solanke. That's okay. It's not bad. I prefer Solanke, obviously, but DCL's a fine player. Comeback season's on, Sadesh. Let's just hope Kulusevski is a banger. That's all I hope for. Cheers, Davey. Good luck up the green arrows. Phoenix, you're a bit premature. I think I still have a bit of time. Okay, wait. Okay, no. Yeah, 10 seconds. 9, 8. So very close. Thank you, Kylo. But yeah, sorry guys that it was a bit of a mental stream. I was trying to finalize the team, but at least it's very similar to the one that I made in yesterday's final team selection. So if you guys followed that one, you'll be able to get the exact same. But yes, as we are saying, so Darth is saying in T-Man, TUPD, time is up, guys. So that's going to finalize our wildcard draft. Let's hope it's a good one. Davis or Aitonori, I prefer Davis, but if you can only afford Aitonori, then go for him. But Robefly, unfortunately, time is up. Hopefully you guys were able to get the wildcard locked in. I don't know if there was anything that came about from the early team sheet news. Yeah, so Gakpo plays, basically. Yeah, it's the only thing I've seen, guys, yeah. But that's going to lock in our wild card. I'm going to let you guys go and enjoy your weekends. Now we pray, says Christopher. Exactly. Let's hope the wild card looks pretty good. Yeah, Davis, the Ipswich run is also pretty decent. That's why I like Davis. But I went for Van der Ven, I guess. The Spurs defense numbers aren't looking that bad. Good luck. Thanks, Matt. Let's hope it is. Let's hope it at least outperforms our old team. But yeah, hopefully the Green Arrows are going to be in our favor for this one. And thank you for joining the deadline stream. Sorry it was a bit of an all over the place one, but the wildcard is locked in and international break now to relax and enjoy. So thank you for joining. But for the time being, I'm signing off. It's been Davey FPL and I'm out. Cheers. Bye.